All right, welcome everybody to week 30. Week 30, wow, 30 weeks of personal rips and hobby chat. I'm Herman with 3B Collections, and I'm with Ken from Beans bcardblog.com or at Beans Ball Card. I can never get it right, man. Because
I tell you
what throws me off is your Twitter is Beans B Card Blog, and then your website is Beans Ball Card Blog, right?
And so is my YouTube. Everything's Beans Ball Card Blog, like eBay. Not that I sell any cards on there. Trading card database. Everything's Beans Ball Card Blog. ComC, but Twitter just didn't give me enough characters. So
your buddy JT says he's ready to run through a wall with that intro.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore stuff. But hey, I guess the number of this episode presented by the number 3, because we realized you're 3B. Yep. I sometimes use B3. It's episode 30, and this is episode 3 since the reboot.
This is 4 for you, right?
I thought it was 3rd.
No, I think 4. Because I think this would be a month. Which okay. I'm happy to have you, by the way.
I'm from West Virginia. I don't count good.
West Virginia and Texas.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm talking about, which place I claim.
So we got Foul 5 with us. Welcome, JT and Diego, Zach. Glad to have y'all. So, by the way, JT, I have pulled a top. When I say a top loader box, this is what this is. Let's see. This is what I use. I've got these spread out. I got one for Bo, one for George. I've recently started one for Ken, and then now I have one for you. But I use these to start with, the old top loader, and I've got the names on them and all. And then once it outgrows that, I'll put it into a box. But I have some Tigers pulled. He reached out to me after the show last week and said he had some Braves, so that's always a good thing. So what's other than what me and you had talked about? What else is new in your week?
You know, not a whole lot, honestly. It was funny. I actually just replied to a tweet, shortly before this, and I've gone through the last few weeks, and I've not only muted like Top Shot, Project 70. I've also started, because you have a lot of people that still post the stuff and it gets through because they don't say it. I've just started muting a lot of those people. It's been pretty good. I got to say, it's been a pretty good week, pretty low key. Haven't gotten into too many arguments. Definitely feeling better, but also just not spending as much time on social media in the evenings either, and that definitely helps. That's a conscious decision I have made.
Right. I don't get to spend a whole lot of time on it except for in the evenings. Given our where I work at, they've kind of gotten real strict on cell phone use and stuff at work. So I try to just keep mine put up in the truck and get on it when I can, and at lunch and breaks or whatever. And my main time I'm on is in the evenings. So. And that, sometimes that comes back to bite you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that this week, Jim.
But, what are you going to do when you're not on 24/7? You'll occasionally have that happen.
Yeah. So Zach said he uses the same method when he's doing potential trades. Yeah, it's I forgot who I saw it. Somebody told me they did that, and I'm like, well, I've got tons of these things laying around. I usually use them for spacers in my shoe boxes and monster boxes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's a great idea.
So I don't know if I think I may have mentioned this on the last round table, but yeah. So our LCS, they've been rationing top loaders and sleeves, and I have no issue with that. It sucks because you'd like to buy more sometimes, but at the same time, if they didn't do that, there wouldn't be any there for me to even get what I could get. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I had been going for a few weeks. I had been going and buying the maximum, which was 4 boxes of the regular top loaders, 4 boxes of sleeves. And then about 2 weeks ago, in the room where I have most of my card stuff, I just randomly found like more than half a case of top loaders.
Nice.
Unopened. And that doesn't count the 4 3-row boxes of used top loaders that I have.
Yeah.
Still.
I looked up right as everything was getting short. I looked up and found a case of penny sleeves. Well, and they were reasonable. They was a little more than what what they were pre-pandemic and all, but it was, to me, it was still worth the price of what I gave for it. And the next week, I looked up on a case of top loaders.
Nice.
So I picked those up, and so I mean, through all this, I've pretty much been lucky as far as having enough for what I need.
Yeah, and on the top loaders, I mean, I don't store my collection in top loaders. I no longer have any plans to set up at card shows, so I don't even need that many. But if you don't have them, and then all of a sudden you do come into a need, that's when they're going to be out of stock. So I had gone ahead and continued grabbing them. And really, I just need sleeves because, as you know, I can sign, and JT sells cards for me, and I like to penny sleeve up everything that I send to him. Just for a little extra layer of protection. It's not much inside of the 400 count box, but
yeah,
I'll take what I can get. I mean, it can keep you from dinging a corner or something. So
you say you're consigning with JT, which is Triple Crown 24 on Twitter, right?
It's Triple Crown on Twitter, and then his channel is YouTube channel Triple Crown 24.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had considered that, but I mean, do you do anything on eBay at all now, or do you send all your stuff to him?
I send everything to him.
Okay. I had considered something like that, but for me, I don't have I couldn't get up a bulk lot of stuff to send, because usually the way I list on eBay is, I'm going through my stuff and I run up on something like, oh, well, I'll throw it on eBay. I don't want it. I'm gonna put it on eBay.
And in my case, I have a lot of expendable stuff that's not PC, stuff that I was, going to have in dollar boxes and stuff at card shows. I mean, and the advantage of selling with him is that he does consign for multiple people, and he does free shipping if you purchase $20 worth of cards. So in a lot of ways, it's like ComC, because he has us coded, by what's ours. And there's a lot of times people buy 6 to 10 cards, and it's one from me, one from, all these different guys, that I might not have sold on my own in my own store, or at least not sold it as quickly because they didn't want to buy just one card. They wanted to go ahead. And I did see that, JT. I did see that. I see that you're using the uploader now. I had actually, Wes and I had been talking, and I said a year or two ago that I think he's starting to use that bulk loader, and then I saw your reply to 1 Million Cubs about it. So, but yeah, so it's like I said, it worked for me. It's much faster than sending. He gets my stuff up way faster than ComC will. It's a win-win for me, and he gets money out of it too for his business, and I don't have to deal with packing and shipping. And that's the big thing. All I have to pack and ship is what I send to him for his business, and
ooh,
I don't have to deal with packing.
My bad.
Ooh, man. But anyway,
how about that feedback?
No, yeah, I didn't like hearing myself. Ooh,
that's a lie.
Nah, I say I do, but I don't really like my voice. It's better than it was in college when I worked college radio, though. Man, I hated my voice. I think it's a little worse and a little bit better.
Right. I'm sorry.
But anyway,
I'm sharing this on Twitter that we're live, trying to get a few more people.
Yeah. Good. But yeah, so like you said, I've sent him a couple of flat rate boxes. I got another one. I've got another flat rate box full of stuff ready to go, and then probably more after that. So JT says Bo is his hero, so I'm assuming that he's using the file exchange that Bo's always talking about. Yeah. he just started using it, I think, within the last handful of days because I would go a few times a day, see what he'd listed recently. Because, hey, sometimes I want to buy stuff because he's selling stuff from other people too. So I may find something I like. And but then to see, if one of mine might have gone up and all. But you would see, he'd post a little more than one a minute. So, it would be like 1140 and then 1141, 1142, 1142, 1143. And I noticed that he had a bunch of stuff go up the other day right at the exact same minute. He had like hundreds of items. But yeah, he's got over 22,000 in the store. So and then he does the $1 shipping on the cards under $20 as well. So that helps move stuff. And it helps me because I don't want to spend the time packing and shipping. I don't want to spend 2 hours a night. I know Bo's doing well for himself, but man, he spends a lot of time on that.
He does. I don't know how he does it. I couldn't. I wish he was in here because that packing and shipping deal is. I don't sell that much, which I don't have. I have less than 100 on my eBay, but I'm usually about 4 or 5 a day, and that's about how much I'm putting on there. And I've noticed that if I don't put anything on for 2 or 3 days, my sales drop.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that, and I mean, I guess it's got something to do with algorithms and or something.
Exactly.
I don't get that because when I search by the most recently listed every time.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, if you listed something, it should come up. I should see it. But I don't know how that works.
Unless there's 10 or 20 that's been listed after somebody, after you list something, and that's what I was saying. And I was telling Bo this the other day that a lot of times I'll have stuff to spend on there for a month or 2, 3 months. It's just been sitting there, and I'll go in and I'll add 4 or 5 things, and I won't necessarily sell what I just listed. I'll sell what I listed 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's weird how it works, but yeah. So like I said, I don't have to. I don't have. It's time to take my damn pills. Okay, sorry. But anyway, yeah. So I don't have to worry about that because he's listing stuff, daily. But anyway, I don't even know how we got on the topic of selling through it, but yeah, that's just doing that, and so I don't have to spend that time on it myself, and easy enough, and much better than Calm Sea. It's the best way to liquidate that I found so far, short of literally selling a big, bulk collection for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I've been working on this week. I got my Series 1 sets built. I've got the last, I think the last 4 cards on the way from. Actually, Big Shep reached out and asked me which 4 I needed to finish my second set, and he's like, "I got you. I'll send them to you." So once I get those, I'll be done with that. So I started selling off once I pulled the Cubs out and Tigers out and the Red Sox I forgot to mention that earlier, for Mark. Once I pulled those out, I started just pulling out one of everything I had, and put them in like a 400 count box and put them on eBay and sell them for $10.
Yeah,
because I don't need them anymore. If I get $10 for them, the box cost me a couple of bucks, and then anything over that is gravy. I've got my set.
As you said, you were talking a couple of weeks ago. You pretty much already paid for them anyway, so everything at this point is gravy.
Yeah, I paid for them selling the Trouts and the Bo Bichette's and the Otanis and all that out of it. So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's just, and like I said, Lanny Rives is the one that put me onto that. And he said that's the way he built his sets, was just buy bulk lots. And I reached out to a guy that I knew opened a lot, and man, he sells them to me for $25 for a flat rate box. Why not?
Yeah, and especially if you can get him to do that on the regular.
He does. For the last 3 years, he sent me, which Flagship is the only set that I actually really build. up until this year. This year I'm building the heritage set. I got to with the 72 design. I'm going to build it. But yeah, I mean for the last 3 years he's sent me Series 1, Series 2, and updates, just bulk lots. So,
and then like I said, you're still a little bit off of it, and he's obviously happy to get rid of it at the price. So it's a win-win for everyone. Win-win.
Exactly.
Speaking of heritage, though, did you want to go ahead and plug your break?
Well, sure. Yeah, I'm down to I think 3 spots left. I posted the first one at about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, and I've got 3 spots left. It's pick one team, get 2 randoms for $20 a spot, and that includes shipping. And I've got 3 boxes. I'm gonna post at least one more box after this one fills, and if you've in this one and already got a shipment coming, you'll get a discount for the shipping. So then I got later this week, I have 3 retail boxes coming, and they're all mine.
Hey, I see Tony's in here, and he's talking with JT about consignment.
Right. All right. So you had a couple things you want to talk. Well, we did. You had one, and I had one. So I guess we'll. And this one you're gonna have to take off with it because I don't know a whole lot about it. But the Panini, I guess you say fake relics.
Oh yeah, man, I kind of forgot about that. What was that? Oh yeah, just talking in general about. I mean, it's a damn joke. Who was it? Somebody in basketball. So it was a Wax Museum podcast, Wax Museum PC on Twitter. And it was one of the rookies from this year, and it had a relic, and it had the New Era tag on it, and it had a New Era Youth tag on it. I think that dude's wearing a youth hat. And if you do think he's wearing a youth hat, there was a Joe Burrow relic card that came out in some product this year that had the same thing. It was a hat. It was the New Era, like the label on the inside of the New Era hat. I would take my hat off and show y'all what I mean, but my forehead would blind you. But the Joe Burrow was a women's. It literally said women's on the damn relic.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on. I mean, and they just, repeatedly over and over. I get that you can't expect 90, you can't expect 100% accuracy. And let's be honest, they're probably 99.9% accurate. How can this give you any faith in what they're doing? There was I don't know who it was, but I went to the Sports Card Radio he has his little Panini's greatest hits of errors or whatever. Yeah. There was a baseball from Elite Extra Edition a few years back where they put Magic Johnson stickers on it. Just like, how can you trust these? I mean, and I don't, but how can you literally trust them when they make this many errors? I believe there was where in their football relics, they had a tag and it was a Mitchell and Ness tag. Mitchell and Ness has never been an on-field. That Mitchell and Ness does throwback uniforms.
Right. Oh yeah, I saw that. So it's not. Right. It's not game used or buying it off the shelf and cutting it up and.
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like. And then there was a guy that got arrested and prosecuted that said he had sold all these jerseys to all of them. So I'm not calling out Panini over anybody else here, but they all knew that they were fake and that part of his job was to kind of muddy up dirt up a little, so it looked a little rough. It's just like that. I mean, I guess relic cards were cool when they first came out. I mean, and I'm talking first came out in 98, 99, 2000. They've long, to me, outlived their usefulness. And now that everything's down to player worn, or I think Panini, a lot of their stuff now is saying it's not guaranteed to be associated with any player events or something. So your Tom Brady relic autograph 3-color relic could be from the third string center. It's not associated with a particular player. I guess it would be a Tampa Bay one now, but you get what I said. You get what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm always seeing this, and it's just a freaking comedy of errors, and it's pathetic. And then you can't get answers from them. I've been waiting on redemption cards of both Charles Barkley and Alek Manoah autograph redemptions for over a year. And since then, they've both had autographed products that are live
on their website.
No, I mean, they're live, like stuff that was released after the set I purchased it from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I purchased the Manoahs. They were from Panini Contenders Draft Picks 2019. Well, then he has other cards that were 2020 cards that are autographed, and my redemption still hasn't been filled. Charles Barkley, same thing, has live autographs out there from sets that were released after the Donruss and the Donruss Optic that I purchased the redemptions for.
That's still nothing. You can't even get an answer.
Nothing. Can't get an answer. Get, one of their people reached out to me on Twitter. I'm not going to throw them under the bus and said, hey, yeah, get me a list of what they are. Let me see if maybe they're hard autographs, and that's why we haven't done it yet. I sent them the list probably 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. Ain't heard a damn thing from him. I had emailed, they do that, whatever they do that thing on their blog where they list all of the redemptions that have gone out, and they have an email address, for other questions you can contact blah, blah, blah. I did that last year. He said he'd look into it. So I waited a few months, emailed back. He's not there anymore.
Well,
it's just ridiculous. I mean, and everybody keeps just spending all this money with him. I don't get it, man. I mean, why should they care? I mean, why should they care?
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't nothing gonna hurt them.
Just bringing it in, hand over fist. Yep. Donnie says he's waiting on a Barkley auto too. So you're not in the ship alone, there, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they're horrible. Panini customer service Twitter blocked me. I've been belligerent to some people, but I don't think I've ever been belligerent to the Panini CSM. So I don't know what the hell I did that they blocked me for. But I think that a company's customer service account, you should have to do something very awful for them to block you.
Right.
But
other than asking a question that they don't have an answer to.
I mean, my wife works right up by their office. She works 10 minutes from their office, and sometimes I drive by there and just want to go knock on the door and be like, hey, can I talk to somebody, please? Can somebody answer a freaking question around here?
Can I talk to the guy that blocked me?
Anyway.
Yeah,
I guess we can move on. We can move on to your topic now that I'm fired up.
Right. And it seems like, and you even made the comment that we were kind of on different sides on this, and personally, I don't think we are. It's just
not necessarily different sides. So anyway, we can talk about what we want to talk
about.
Yeah,
and before I say this, let me go ahead and just put this out there. I'm not a graded card person.
Neither am I.
I don't grade cards. I've never sent a card in for submission. To me, I just kind of look back. I just kind of sit back, watch, and I see both sides. I see what PSA is doing or what they're not doing. I see what BGS is doing or what they're not doing. And then I see what this HGA is doing. And you made the comment too. It's like one company, PSA, is they're grading trim cards and let them slide through. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they've even had some fakes that's come through that they graded.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that's up there. That's high tier. Shouldn't happen.
That there's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse. And again, I know that they're correct 99.9% of the time. And I know that other companies also make mistakes. But my point is that this is supposedly the end all be all. PSA is the greatest thing ever, blah, 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 blah. We're going to attack all these other new companies for things that aren't nearly as egregious as that. But we're going to turn our eyes. We're going to conveniently ignore the fact that Panini so many altered and trimmed cards. I'm sorry, not Panini. Still got Panini on the brain. PSA has so many altered and trimmed cards out there. I mean, shit. I mentioned Wax Museum PC earlier. I feel like he takes 1 week. PWCC or Probstein is selling an altered card, and he's getting that information from the blowout detectives that are out there. But I mean, it's like weekly he's posting one of those, and I'll retweet them. I mean, it doesn't affect me in general because the stuff that they're doing that to isn't I'm to be purchasing. And if you're going to spend that money and not be intelligent enough to do your research, then the damn joke's on you, and I've got no sympathy.
Right.
But at the same time, it is happening. It has happened. It likely continues to happen. And where we're going with that was this is the worst. And these PSA fanboys, these little cuckolds, want to attack these other companies about label or stuff like that while turning this blind eye and acting like PSA is 100% perfect. And it pisses me off to no end. And maybe it shouldn't get to me, but it does.
Yeah. And this is where this started. Was it Friday that I texted you? Yeah. Friday I had and we mentioned it earlier. I don't spend all day on Twitter. I'm in and out. A lot of stuff, gets by me. I don't see it until the end of the day. And I had saw this earlier in the week where the is it HGA? Is that what they call themselves? The hybrid grading something?
Approach, yeah.
But they graded a Tua Tagovailoa card, and they had all this artwork on the label. So I called them out about pulling stuff off Google and just print and paste it, or copy and paste it and make a label. Well, then somebody pointed out that the Samoan artwork that was on the label they found it on the internet with the exact same artwork, had the artist name wrote on it, and they went through the trouble of taking the artist name off of it and using the label for themselves, or the artwork for themselves. And they later came out with this apology and how they reached out to the artist and got permission to use it after they had removed his name accidentally, as they put it. They accidentally used it. That was what I was questioning on the post, was how is it accidental if you took the time to remove an artist's signature from a picture so you can put it on your label?
And again, I'm not defending them in any way, shape, or form. It's a horrible look if you're facing potential lawsuits on that. And my point is, and I guess where I was saying we're on different sides, is I care a lot less about that.
I understand.
Than I do a greater trimmed card. Also, from what I understand, this was a mock-up. It was not anything that was sent out. So at this point, they may not have done anything wrong and said, hey, do you like something like this? Again, I don't know about all of those artsy-fartsy laws and all that crap. But it also was not released, so they had not technically done any damage from what I understand.
Right.
And again, I could be wrong, but it was more of a, what do you think of this? Do you like this? Would you like us to try something like this?
Yeah. Well, see, and I didn't see that. But like I said, now, that was me not being on Twitter all day and me getting on and seeing it, and just made the comment of, how's it an accident if you took the time to remove the artist's name? and of course I got attacked for it. But whatever, it's big, dude took off running and hid and blocked me and deleted his tweets, and it's it's done and over. But but it's like I said, I was back. Was it 2 years ago when all that started with PSA with the trimming?
That sounds about right.
Year and a half, 2 years ago. I mean, I was right there with everybody else then on that, But at the same time, I don't grade. I don't buy graded cards. But and everybody, it's like you said, everybody makes a big deal about, well, if I'm gonna buy vintage or if I'm gonna buy this, I'm buying a PSA graded so I know it's authentic. Do you?
You don't, but I mean, and like I said, I know that PSA is accurate 99.9% of the time. I'm also, when I'm buying something higher priced, it's a T206 card, and I'm buying it in a 1.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2 at the most. And it's maybe $100 card that's not worth someone really spending all that time on. So, but I feel better to buy that. And so let's say say I wanted to buy a PSA 1 T206 Ty Cobb. I'm not sure what the current going rate is. Last time I looked, it was about $1,000 card, but that was before all this took off and vintage has gone off. Just say it's a $1,500 card. I'm going to feel much better with that PSA graded than I am, or SGC graded, or BGS graded. I'm not even really sitting here, any of those big three. I'm good with. I'm going to feel better about buying that card. But HGA, but the HGA thing is, look, like I said, they've done a lot of things that the optics are horrible on, and I don't know how long they're going to be around. But I do know that there is demand for their service because people like how their PC cards look with those labels.
Yeah.
So there may be a market for that. There may not be a resale market for it if you get your Freddie Freemans or you buy a collection from somebody and has an HDGA graded, I don't know, whatever. You're not going to get the money that you're going to get from PSA. For the time that it was in that personal collection, that person enjoyed it, and that's why that person did that. So there is a place, but the things that they have done have killed. I won't say killed. They have hurt the potential resale value, and those are self-inflicted wounds. And if you don't like it, then if you're going to try to go to HGA to flip, well, know what you're doing. Know that either it's not going to sell for as much because of these, self-inflicted wounds, or go to PSA and wait 4 years for it to come back. Whatever you want to do. I think there's a place for. I'm not defending any of their errors, but I am saying there's a place for the HGAs of the world. That does look very cool, and if they, again, whatever that situation is, that's ultimately going to be on them. And if they did, steal, copyrighted material, they're going to they may potentially have to pay the price. Maybe not this time, but if they do it again, somebody's not going to be maybe as friendly as this particular person was.
Right. And the thing was, when it was put out there originally, it wasn't just the Samoan or the Samoan warrior or whatever the artwork. It wasn't just that one pick. It was the somebody had found the actual wave that they used too, the water. That was some artwork that somebody had done, and I mean it was identical. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, we've seen that it. Yeah, I mean, they maybe they saved themselves by offering this guy a job. They erred. It was a major error. I'm not discounting that, but what I'm saying is that you see these people that jump on them, and they're all these PSA fanboys.
Yeah,
that's
to your
what
point,
pisses
yeah,
me
exactly.
off.
You're right.
And
You're right.
And then people that are attacking them is the new guy. They're the same people that are going, oh, we need to welcome everybody into the hobby. And then on the other side, they're not going to welcome a new company. They're going to stick to their PSA guns. And that's the only person you grade with. And it's just like, there's definitely a level of hypocrisy there. You're going to attack these new companies. And yes, like I said, I'm not denying there were errors. But then those same people call people like me that attack a lot of these new hobbyists, and I'm calling them hobbyists because I'm not calling them collectors. Then they're going to jump on me and call me a gatekeeper for calling these flip vester sneaker dickheads out.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah. And this is why I'm spending less time on social media. I've really cut down on whose YouTube videos I watch. Like I said, time social media, muting a lot of terms, people, all those kind of things. So, but it's made my hobby time better, though.
Right. Well, speaking of YouTube, I mean, we might as well. You brought it up. We might as well just go right into it.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first this week.
All right. So, the first couple I've done. Oh yeah, I think this is the 4th episode because we didn't do the YouTube shout out the first time, and we did 2. You're right. Anyway, back to this. So I have been. I've kind of been, working with guys that I know a little bit better. I've mentioned those or newer channels. But this particular channel, he started something last week, and he released another one today that I've really enjoyed. He's been around YouTube for 2 or 3 years. But his channel is Oakland A's 915. And he's got 294 subscriptions currently, which I'm shocked that he doesn't have more subs than that. I'm shocked. I'm around 425, and I'm shocked that he's not way beyond mine. But he did last week. It was his top 10. He's a Mark McGwire super collector. Last week he did his top 10 1995 McGwires. This week he did today I think he released his top 10 1996. And it's just awesome to watch those, but also his knowledge of those 90s things. I collected all through the 90s. I've collected without pause since 1987. Now, there were lean years, and there were years that I maybe was heavier into other sports. At that point, I was probably just a little bit more into basketball and football than I was baseball. But he'll have this McGwire, and he has this story on how it's distributed, or there's one that he said that he got, and it was some kind of redemption, but there's also a non-redemption. He only knows of one other one of those. And then there was another that he mentioned. It's a press proof out of 100, but they were only in some kind of magazine stuff. So just his knowledge of those, it's pretty awesome to just listen to, and I just enjoy seeing true collectors, and that's what I consider collecting McGwire. But it's really, really cool to see those and see how he talks about, like, his number 1 card in this, he said, is also his number 1 overall card. And his overall favorite card, and he tells why. It's one as a kid he never thought he'd be able to own, and then he actually came into it a few years ago. But so that's why I just really like this series. So I've got a list of guys that I want to do shout outs for, but I kind of bumped him to the top of the list today. So yeah, Oakland A's 915.
All right. Well, this week I'm gonna go with before I say it, which I've already put it in chat, which is my bad, but I've just recently this year got into hockey. And of course, I'm looking into it and collecting hockey and stuff. I come up on Indigenous rookie cards.
Great channel.
He is a hockey collector, and he has 60. He's currently at 66 subscribers. He does, he does mail days. He does his eBay buys. He shows a lot of the rookie cards, and he has a ton of them. I can't remember the names of some of the guys that he PCs, but
Zach White Cloud, Jonathan Choo Choo.
Yeah,
those are a couple of his bigger ones.
But anyway, yeah, I've enjoyed. I found him. Excuse me. I found his channel, and I watched like his most recent at the time, and then I went back to his first one, and he had who was it? The Oilers. Ethan Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And he had basically he had the rainbow of Ethan Bear rookie cards. But yeah, I mean, I've ever since then I've watched, and I think his last video was like 3 days ago, where he was showing some pickups from eBay and his mail days and stuff. So, yeah, if these two channels we mentioned, I've got the links in the comments. If you would, go over, give them a follow, check out the videos, comment, like, subscribe.
I was gonna, if you were gonna mention it, but Niam Indigenous Rookie Card. So I've known him on Twitter for a few years, and actually did something. There was a hockey, like a youth camp, where there were going to be like 400 kids, and Chichu was going to be there, and I got a handful of guys and to donate some money, and because it was very short term, and I was able to purchase like 400 Jonathan Chichu cards on Sport Lots and get sent to him. Got there like the day before, so that those kids each those signed. So he's done a lot with youth stuff, and he's also what I was waiting to see if you mentioned was he's in this month's Beckett. Hockey Beckett, his collection.
I was going to mention that, yeah, and that was his last video.
I was thinking it was, but I thought maybe you. Sometimes I miss the video because I'm going through my sub list.
He was the featured collector. That you're right. I watched that yesterday, and I knew his video had been like 2 or 3 days ago, but I couldn't. And I'm like you. I watched so many of them that they all mixed together. But yeah, he was a featured collector in this month's Hockey Beckett.
Yeah, it's a great channel. And I actually, the week before I think it was the first week we did this, he was in the chat, and I kind of did a little just a short little shout out to him because he was in the chat, and I had found his YouTube channel maybe just a couple of months ago. But I had followed him on Twitter, and one time I finally saw where he had tweeted out one of his links, and I was like, oh, he's got a YouTube, and did all that. But yeah, as far as a pure collector, and what he collects are the Canadian Indigenous hockey players,
right?
And he's got his website where he's got all of the players on there and all that. But yeah, good dude, good channel to watch. Just
I didn't realize you followed him.
Yeah,
it seems like you said you found him a couple of months ago. So I mean, we probably found him about the same time.
Yeah, he had like 40 subs at the time. He's actually picked up a little bit, but yeah, just I enjoy seeing his passion. It kind of can live through it because he's like most of us. He's only got X amount to spend on cards. Most of us aren't independently wealthy and can buy pretty much any card. So, you can hear it in his voice sometimes, and you feel it when it's like, yeah, I couldn't pull the trigger because it was just too much money. Yeah. But yeah, true collector, good, fun channel.
Yep. George and Dan both said they wasn't following, but they just did. And that's the main reason why we do this. I mean, I think that was your plan when we talked about this was, take some. And I know that, last week I mentioned the guy that's already got thousands of subscribers, but at the time I just had watched one of his videos about, the friends in the hobby, and it just kind of struck me as, hey, I want to mention him. But the main goal was to reach out to some of these lesser YouTube channels, like mine, and pick them up. If you can pick one or two up here and there, then who's to say that from those one or two, they don't pick up two more, and then from those two, and it just grows and grows. So,
and the reality is, these are the channels I watch very few channels that have over 1,000 subscribers. Most of mine are guys that have 400 or less. Because those are the guys that aren't doing they're not just opening boxes. They're not doing a giveaway on every video. Whether it be box breaks for themselves or box breaks, they're doing, literal breaking. But yeah, these collectors, a lot of these guys are the ones that have a lot less viewers, and those are the ones that I enjoy. I mentioned hearing him talk about how, I just couldn't afford this card. It was more than I could go. And I mean, who in the chat hasn't had that happen? Every single one of us has. But I don't spend time watching a guy that's got $5,000 anymore. I used to watch him, but 5,000 subscribers, and he's going and spending $10,000 at the Dallas Card Show.
Yep,
that's not a guy I can relate to. That's not a guy whose collection I give a damn about, to be honest. He's not like most of us. So anyway, yeah, that was what I wanted to do, was seeing the couple guys go and subscribe to those guys already. Again, you may go subscribe, and it may not be something you dig, and you unsubscribe. That's cool. We're not all going to dig the same thing. Some people might not like Indigenous rookie cards just because they're not hockey guys, and they just don't. They have no knowledge and no care, and that's okay. But hopefully they'll go check him out and see if maybe there's something about the way he collects, maybe that you can relate to. And that I like doing this. Hey, Cole.
You got another Braves fan for a friend?
Colby is a Braves fan.
Well, I'll have to welcome him.
Braves, and then I think he's pretty much Carolina, everything else.
Yeah, well, we can agree on the Braves. I love going here. I don't know if Zach is still in here, but he had messaged me the other day or last week that he wanted my address. Said Porter, his son, wanted to send me something, and I got this 2 or 3 days ago, and I held off because I was going to do a mail day video, which he sent it in a holiday card, and he actually looks like Porter signed it himself. But it is a. Let me get this out. They put the tape on it. Just a 2019 Freddie Freeman base. And Zach had told me, he said, you probably have it, but Porter wanted to send it. And he's right. I do have 30 or 40 of them. But since Porter had sent me this himself, I'm going to do I'm going to be like Ken here. And the one I have in my binder set for my team set for Tops, I'll take it out and I will put this one in so that I will keep this one forever. Or until my kids end up with my collection.
Yeah, I have I didn't do a mail day video this week because, as I told you, I'm working I'm working Sunday, I'm working Wednesday because I get my COVID shot, my second COVID vaccination on Thursday, and I'm just preparing to be sick. Fingers crossed I won't be, but a lot of people aren't feeling well after their second one. So I didn't get a chance to do been working yesterday and then working 10 today again. I didn't get a chance to do a mail video, but he was in here earlier. I don't know if Tony's still in here, but Tony's Hobby Vault sent me some of the Charles Barkley mosaics. Like what you said, I am going to do like these. I'll put a little sticker on the back that says from Tony, and they will go into the Barkley collection. And the ones that I had previously purchased, probably going to end up with JT at some point down the road to move those again. But yeah, even if I've already got one, I want to keep the ones that the hobby community has sent to me because I've made a lot of great friends through YouTube and Twitter.
Yep. Now this one, I have no idea. Oh, now I do. I picked these up on Twitter on a trade for my 72 set. Ooh, nice.
Is that why you're wanting to do the heritage set? I didn't even think about that because you're working on that 72.
I'm
you want to have
on
the heritage
72, yeah.
Okay, it makes sense. Makes sense.
3 high numbers. And that come off a Twitter trade that I actually had forgot about. I didn't recognize the name. The name on the envelope was George, and it's from Texas. So originally, when I first saw this, I thought, okay, well, Ken has sent me something else from George. Until I just opened it, and I remembered, but it was a George, and it was addressed from Texas. It was the first thing on my mind was, George, KBO George, had sent me something else. But yeah.
Speaking of George, I got to get that box going for you, buddy. I'm sorry. I got to send him stuff to Korea. I've not been as good about helping him out as I thought I would be. So he's probably gonna, when he flies into the States again and flies through Dallas and we meet up, he's probably gonna punch me right in the nose.
5 was asking, I guess you're wanting to know what numbers those were 726, 768, and 769, which I think 5 had told me one time that he was going to check a few of them, so that's probably why he's wanting those.
What's the biggest card left in that set that you need?
Pete Rose.
Is he a high number?
Kind of a semi-high. He's not really the high.
Okay, I was just curious because I know Fisk is in there, the Fisk rookie's in there. I can't recall what the most expensive cards are, but it was interesting to hear Rose from, because again, my mind immediately went to Fisk. Probably was what you needed.
Well, believe it or not, when I started this set, I bought a lot off eBay, and it was a starter set, and the Fisk was. It said on the eBay listing that it included the Fisk rookie. And when I got the set, it wasn't in there. Reached out to the guy and told him that, it was not in there. He apologized. He said, I'll get it to you. 2 weeks later, I had it in my mailbox.
Oh, Fisk awesome.
Rookie. So, he did right. And then I was patient, unlike some eBay buyers are. But it all worked out, and that's where I started the set, and then picking up a few here and there, and like I said, I've gotten most of the biggies except which you just about consider the whole high series biggies because, but I actually ended up with 2 Nolan Ryan rookies. I had bought it off of eBay. From a guy and forgot I had it. I didn't mark it off. I didn't mark it off my checklist, and I had reached out to Lanny, and we actually worked up a trade where he sent me another one, and I sent him some stuff. And then when I got it and I went to put it in my set, I realized, crap, I already have it.
The 72 or the rookie?
The 72.
Okay, you said the rookie, so he did. I was confused. No worries. I just didn't know if that meant you were working on 68 as well.
No. Okay. No, I wish I had 2 Nolan Ryan rookies, but no, I don't.
Don't we all? No, I wish I had one.
The 72. Gotcha. But I went to put it in my set, and I'm like, crap, I already have it. So I actually put the one I got from Lanny in the set, and I'm gonna I don't know. I'll do something with this. I actually got a guy that's wanting it, and I'm trying to work out a trade with him for a lot of the other high numbers I need. I just need to get. I've got several of them out that I'm waiting to get in to make sure I don't get any more doubles or no more than I have to.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know that a lot of the baseball series have the high numbers and they're printed in shorter quantities, but I know that the 72 football high series as well, and those things can be be pretty darn pricey as well. So it's just interesting to hear you talking about 72 baseball high numbers and knowing about the 72 football high numbers.
Yeah. So Foul File said he's got about 10 for me. He's going to send out this week, and it includes the Rose. Sweet. But Foul Five, let me know if you need anything. We need to work out something and get you something back and trade on that. Because I know that Pete Rose is not, I've looked at it and watched it on eBay several times. And when it comes down to the end, it shoots up, and I'm just not willing to pull the trigger on it yet. Maybe if I got down to the end, and that's what everybody tells me, if I don't go ahead and get it now, that and then make it, if it ends up being my last card, I'm gonna spend way more than I should on it.
I have a feeling with my 55 All-American football set, I'll probably end up doing the same thing because the ones I have the big ones. I also need the bigger ones. Like in that case, it's like the Four Horsemen card is the most expensive. That's probably going to be the one I buy last, and yeah, I'm probably gonna slightly overpay for it just so I can finally say it's done.
Right, and that's what I think it was Landon that was telling me that if some of the bigger cards, if you don't get them up front and you save them to the end, that you'll overpay a lot faster that way than you would in the beginning. But
and as somebody who's built a few vintage sets, or like I said, I'm working on the 55 All-American. Yeah, I wish that instead of buying a handful of the $30 cards, 10 of the $30 cards, I wish I'd bought one of the $300 cards because they're all going to go up in general when you're talking vintage, but the stars or the short prints are going to go up faster than the low end. So yeah, we all always want to think about, the set. You want to get as much of it as you can early on. But my theory is that actually, when you're doing a vintage set, maybe it's better to go the other way. And then if for some reason you decide to tap out, say maybe you need that money for something else, those stars and those short prints are a lot more liquid than the low number commons are.
Yep. And then I got this. This is my next, and I know you're not into it, but it's my next Project 70 card. This one right here is going to mean, yeah, I know. This one right here is going to mean a lot more to me than probably any of them I have for two reasons. One, it's from the artist that I decided to go with on Project 2020. And for two, it was the Braves card. So it's a PC card, and it's also from the artist that I had decided to collect, Blake Jameson. And it's his Ronald Acuna, if you can see that.
I like that one a lot better than the alien header one or whatever.
Oh, man, that thing is sick. I can't get into that. And teach their own. I know there's people out there that like it, but for me, it ain't me.
No.
Art is subjective, as they say.
It's something.
It's something. So.
All right. I think it's good to be about that hour. Uh-oh, you got one more?
I got one more, and this is more of a project that I'm thinking about working on, and I had mentioned this to this kind of came up in the Hobby Roundtable chat when we were talking about what happened to me Friday and looking for labels. And I bought this one just to try it. I hadn't bought a whole bunch of them, and this goes back to grading, but it's a blank graded slab. No, I'm not trying to start no grading company. No, I'm not trying to fraudulent no card. I'm thinking about putting my Freeman PCs in this.
Are those the ones you were talking about?
Yeah.
Like they're just okay. So then you just need to figure out a label of some sort that you want to put in there.
That's just it. I've got to figure out a label and a way I want to do it. And like I said, it's going to be. I'm just going to do his flagship base from his rookie year to current, and just display it that way. Maybe come up with some kind of cool copy paste from Google label, like some people like to do. But anyway, I don't know.
I just ignored it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's a good idea because there's no doubt. I mean, when you are taking pictures of cards, I'm not going to deny that say you had the Freeman PSA run in Topps. I'm not going to deny that looks really damn sharp when you have those all laid out and get that picture together, or you scan them and put them together, Photoshop or however that works. I'm not going to act like that's not impressive looking, and this is a much more affordable way to do something like that again makes them all very standard.
Yeah,
you put them in a top load.
I'm not going to send them off to be graded. I had considered that at one time, but I mean, now that they're $100 a card, no way.
Yeah, no.
I'll buy these for 76 cents all day long, and put them in there. Put my own label in there. Put them. Put the year, the player's name, and put my name and PC on it. So that way it's mine. It's always mine. It's And File 5 is asking about how to close these. These are actually supposed to be sealed with a, what do they call them, an ultrasonic welder. But I think Ken froze on me. No, he didn't. But
no.
I talked to a guy on Twitter that had ordered some. He ordered 100 of them. And he has found a clear adhesive or an epoxy that was sealing pretty good. So that's probably the way I'm going to go. Which with most of the Freemans, I have multiples anyway. So if something happens, I'd hate for it too, but it wouldn't be the end of the world.
You could just make it an HGS label, Herman's Grading Service.
What was it? We were saying it's 3BC. That was it. Somebody made a comment when I first talked about it. 3BC.
Yeah,
3BG. 3BG. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Put your logo on it. That's cool. Like I said, they are very attractive when they're all set out. You can put them in top loaders the same way, but the thing is, it may sit in one place in one top loader, and then it sits in another place in another top loader. Unless you're going to stare at that loader at your desk for an hour, you're not going to get them all consistent. But yeah, I think it's I think that's a cool idea.
Yep. Here we go. BBBBG.
Jeez.
So Danny, he's designing. Let's see, what's that? Designing a flip for the custom slabs, and you can print them off for me. So Dan, if you can design me a label, we can talk. So anyway, we've gone over an hour. Appreciate everybody for joining us. Give the what was I gonna say? I just wrote a blank. I told you, man, I'm tired.
Makes two of us.
Right. But the two channels, the two YouTube channels that we mentioned, like I said, if you hadn't, go give them a follow and a subscribe. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat tonight is following me and Ken. If not, find Ken at Bean's Beat Card blog. And
you got it.
I got it right. And me at 3B Collections. Don't really do Facebook that much. I think Ken, you not really either. No. If you're looking for a break, I've got one posted on Twitter. If not, hey, it's not for everybody. I appreciate it.
Pull that Mike Trout.
We got what else? We got Hobby Roundtable, April 17th. Yeah, I hope you can. Hope those that was with us last month can be with us. If not, I understand. But
you're replaceable.
Yep, I guess so.
Not you, because you run the show. Everybody else, we're all.
I can still be replaced. Everybody.
No. Your channel, your show.
But the one thing I didn't get to talk about, but I kind of held off, and we'll talk about it afterwards. But yeah, see y'all next Monday, and appreciate you joining. Take care.
Peace out.